Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the Edmonton Business Show. I have Raffaele Papaianni. He is one of the owners of Pro Plumbing, and he is very, very visible on Instagram. He's always sharing content that makes me laugh. He's very dedicated at what he does, and he's a big pillar in the community. I wanted to introduce you to him if you haven't seen him already, and get to know him and what he's doing here in the Edmonton community and how he's helping out residential customers. So,
Hi, so
hey,
nice to be here.
yeah, thank you so much for joining. I know you're busy and you have a family, and I'm just trying to connect with as many Edmonton business owners as I can now that we're in this quarantine.
Oh, you're doing a great job.
Thanks. So, tell me about yourself, Raphael. How did you get started in your business? Is this something that was passed down from your father, or is it something that kind of came about the past 10 or 20 years from now, 20 years ago?
My father bought the company in 2005, and then he had it, he still has it. He is the main owner, and I'm the vice president. And I have helped my dad for the past 8 years in the manager's role because I don't know how to do plumbing. So I
Right.
do everything. I do everything else, and it's been a great experience to work with my dad. And Pro Plumbing, we have, yeah, like you said, we've been helping Edmontonians since 2005, and my dad's been helping residents since 1988 when he first started plumbing. And so we try our best to take away the headaches of plumbing concerns in your home.
That's awesome. And do you work alone usually when you're doing your vice president roles, or how does that look like? What's the day in the life of Raphael in Pro Plumbing?
We do have another lady that works with us. Her name is Bella. So there's two of us in the office. And then we have three plumbers, Stephen, Devin, and Ryan. And they take care of all our customers. And Alfonso overlooks everything. And day in the life of Raphael, well, I take calls, help customers, do everything in the background, paperwork, pay bills, and look at creative ways for advertising. Social media is a big one. So to stay on top of that is a full-time job, like anyone knows. And to be creative and honestly, just to be myself, have fun on it. I've done that since I first started on social media, and it's really been beneficial for Pro Plumbing. So I'm happy that it works, but you always need to get better. So you watch videos like the ones that you post,
Oh, thanks.
and some other ones that help you, like even changing wording or changing the way it looks on Instagram and or any of the social media platforms. I'm on TikTok now, so that's a lot of fun, and I've seen you on there. And you just need to see what everyone is doing, and then you try to make it relevant to your customers and make it just relevant for Pro, that we have fun on what we do, and the owners and the vice president have fun too.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's definitely great to have fun, especially during this quarantine. There's so many different changes that are happening in the world right now, but I myself, I think TikTok is really making this whole social media thing fun for me as well. And I never thought in a million years, Raphael, that I would get on it, but it's good to know that you're on it. I'd like to see some of that on Instagram if you're comfortable, just to see what you're up to.
Oh yeah, yeah. I should cross it over. The thing I like about TikTok that I heard today, it was the most downloaded app so
Oh,
far in 2020 with Zoom.
wow.
And then the best is that I don't usually listen to the radio for music because I'm usually listening to songs for my little one. So Itsy Bitsy Spider is on my radio. But TikTok keeps you updated with the top songs too, because everyone's doing the dances, which I have no idea how to do, and I don't even try. But that one that I can say, TikTok keeps you updated with the songs that are going on, and there was a lot of good videos while people were in quarantine. I'll tell you that.
I absolutely agree with you. I think it's my source of entertainment now. I don't even turn on my TV. It's just TikTok is it.
TikTok is it? Oh, nice. So what do you think about TikTok and how it's well, it's kind of taking over for right now? That is the platform that is huge.
I think it's aside from the entertainment, I'm starting to see more educational posts. Today I put one out there, and 3 hours it got over 800. It was like the most best performing video that I've done on the platform. But I'm
Okay.
starting to see more, like I've seen no frills on there. I've seen BMO Bank. I've
Hmm.
seen like pizza shops just like in the back end, grilling up the pizza, throwing the dough to their colleague, putting it down and going like this in quick little like catchy beats.
Hmm.
I think everybody should be on it, whether you want to be a social influencer, or you have a plumbing company, or a writer. I think it's a great platform to gain some momentum. And it's not just the little teenage kids that are on it. I actually have grandparents following me, and I have millennials following me. I have 10-year-olds following me, but I actually have more adults following me now. So everybody's just getting on it now.
Yeah, it is a great platform. I think so as well. And it is just, Instagram was hot. Now TikTok was hot. And I was on Twitter when it was hot. And there'll be another one,
Exactly.
especially now. Everyone's trying and coming up with new inventions and quicker than ever. And there'll be a new one, and I'll try to be the first one on that one too, because I like the way things like this one with when you go up, it is quick. I see that it's quicker than Instagram, and if you don't like it, just on to the next one, right?
That's right. So, in regards to Pro Plumbing, like, what does your customer look like? With what kind of customers do you target right now?
Well, we're pretty broad, right? We service the Edmonton area, so we go from Leduc to Sherwood Park to Stony Plain to Spruce Grove to Fort Saskatchewan. So we do the whole circle there. And a lot of homeowners will call toilets, faucets, hot water tanks. Those are most of our calls. And then in the winter, of course, furnace repair. And I would say the age group that calls us from, when you ask the customer, how did you hear about us? I would say from about 27 to probably 75 that have their own home. The ones that own their own home call us, and, they've seen us on Google or social media, and they sometimes are asking for pricing or booking the job. So I would say our range is pretty big. Do I see older people on Facebook click on us
Oh,
from
wow.
our stats? So I will say from 55 to 75 has really gone up in the last year, and you could see that in the calls, because it's kind of in certain areas of the city, like Twilliger, and not that older people live in that area. I'm just saying that just in those areas, and we've seen a uptick on that from 55 to 75 on people calling us. So that's really good. And then being on social media, you get a couple calls per week from it, but it's in the long term, like maybe 5 to 6 years from now, when they have their own home, those 18-year-olds, then they will call us. So then they'll remember Pro Plumbing from TikTok, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's the same thing that like Gary Vaynerchuk said, and my dad. He doesn't follow any of that stuff, but he was saying
Mhm.
you and anybody else who's at your age or above, it's smart to do that, because that little 10-year-old that's following you, she's not going to be 10-year-old forever. And then also, I think I was telling somebody too, like even if you do have a younger crowd, they have parents, right, or they know people in high places, so it's always more than just your target audience, because you never know, that little 10-year-old girl or 15-year-old guy that's following you, their dad might be the CEO of some apartment building, and hey dad, check out this guy named Raffaele Pro Plumbing, we need to
Yeah.
get him in our building and film some stuff, and the next thing you know, it blows up, right? So,
Yeah, and what's funny is that we get a lot of calls too from people that don't follow us.
oh wow.
Well, because you just ask, and how'd you hear about us? Oh, I seen you on Instagram. Oh, what is your Instagram or Twitter handle? And oh, I said, you don't follow us, but thank you so much for calling. Oh no, we're always looking, and we're always seeing you on there with the different hashtags. So yeah, that's very beneficial. The one thing I love about Instagram, before TikTok took off, is that Instagram keeps you updated on what's going on in the city. So before we had our little one, my wife and I mean, we knew the top restaurants and where people were going, and we would go and check them out, and they were good. Just like all the Instagram followers would say, this is the place, you got to go. So you'd go, and we'd be so delighted with it. And we really got to know the smaller spots for restaurants in the city for sure. And then different events that, I didn't personally know, but my wife did. And then the ones that we both didn't know, we would attend because we saw it on Instagram for a couple of weeks and we checked it out. And I think Instagram updating things for Edmonton is wonderful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's good to see that you guys are taking advantage of social media because sometimes companies don't want to be bothered with it.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, how's the quarantine been for, not so much for your business, and you don't have to disclose everything, but how's it been for you and your family? How's it, it's hard for me. I can only imagine how it is with the baby and stuff like that.
Well, I'll tell you, it sure didn't feel like any quarantine with this little one
Oh,
because he's running around everywhere. And I'll say I'm very lucky. I mean, the positive about the quarantine is he was born last September, and I've been home a lot with
that's good.
him. So I've seen him grow up his first year. And, I don't think I would have had that opportunity because it's been about 90 days we've been, under lockdown per se.
Right.
And yeah, it's been really cute to see him. The one thing is, my wife and I have huge families, and for us not to see them, we've seen, the parents, of course, right, grandparents, but it's hard not to go see the aunts and uncles or holding him because they all want to hold him and kiss him, and you can't yet, but we'll get to that point. But definitely quarantine. Things that have changed. Well, no sports, and I am a huge sports fan. So I've gone to the books, and I've really enjoyed them. Business books and self-improvement books, and it's audio books. I'm an audio fan, and I've gone to that. Really, really good during walks and driving my little one for a nap. So that's really been good. For business, we're just like any other business. We've dropped about 70, 80%, but we've made a lot of changes because this isn't short term. This is going to be long term, but we need to stay alive, which we are. Our customers have been so good to us. So that we thank them very much for still calling us during this crazy time. But we're at 3 plumbers. I can't complain. I mean, 20% still customers going out to help people from Edmonton. I know some companies aren't, like some stores, some aren't open. They don't have any cash flow. So for us to get 20%, we're very grateful. And we'll continue to push. We'll continue to do different things. We've done a big cleanup. Even in the office, like parts and stuff, we've gotten rid of things that are sitting there for 5 years, and now you have time in the afternoon just to check it out, and we don't need that stuff anymore. And so we've done a good cleanup. Even the plumbers with their vans, and plumbers even with customers, they know that the customer, you got to be 6 feet away. You got to be, well, always clean, of course, right? But everyone, customers have been really good to us. But even in the home, they've stayed away from the plumber doing their job, and we do a good job for homeowners, and they're the backbone of the business. They're everything, right? And for them to tell their neighbors about us, that's how we've grown since 2005, and we hope to grow and far past this pandemic, because things will go back to normal. Things will be better in 2 to 3 years, and we hope to be strong and be stronger after that.
Absolutely. I definitely believe that Edmonton is in it together. It's good to see from a personal level that you're taking on personal development. There are a lot of people out there that haven't really discovered it yet, and some people are just really, they're losing their mind indoors. And it's also good to know that you're looking at your inventory, you're taking a look at to see what's working, what's not, and you still staying strong, you're staying optimistic, you're amping up on your social media, which I think is the key right now for everybody. I think it's one of the best ways to pivot for people that are patient. And I like the things that you're doing online. And I think it's good to know that you have a positive aspect and you're not letting this whole situation get the best of your mindset, which is really important. Just as entrepreneurs, we have to keep our mindset positive, whether the market is up or down. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, we have to. You can't be a victim.
Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of people that are dealing with sick family members, and that's the worst. But we have to be very lucky that, you know, our family's been pretty healthy, and that's the most important. I mean, business is there. Like, we need to stay afloat, but as long as all the family members are healthy, we're very lucky. And the positive outlook has to be. We can't go forward about always thinking about COVID and everything that has affected us. Things will be different, and you know, I said that things will go back to normal, but things will be different. But there's always been big changes, positive, when there's been something really bad in the world. Not bad, but, you know, affected everyone. And
Right.
in the Great Depression, they said that all the inventions were a lot of inventions came out of that. And then in 1980 and even in 2008 in the US, you know, a lot of good came from that after that financial crisis. So that's the way we have to look. And the world is always better after a couple of years after something like this. So we hope it does, for sure. We pray it gets better, but everyone has to have a good outlook. And I have a little one who keeps me grounded. So.
Yeah, that's a good point that you made. I think Napoleon Hill, in one of his books, he said that during the Great Depression, it actually birthed the most millionaires recorded, at least during that time in the 1920s. So there is some opportunities regardless of what kind of is going on in the news. So it's good that you're aware of that.
What book do you recommend for me?
Oh, I have a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and it's not really a get rich quick kind of schemey kind of book. It really goes into like adopting a mindset of abundance, and he talks a lot about the recession because I think he wrote that book around that time.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about like how certain people, they were just working a job and they shadowed maybe some really successful person and they found their way and they did their own thing. And he talks about mindset, attracting abundance, having a mantra in the morning, reading great gratitude stuff, or just reading that you won't be defeated despite the economic downturn or what's going on in your industry. And he just basically tells everybody in the book, no matter what your race is, where you're from, you can be as successful as you want to be despite what history. And it kind of gives me that confidence every time I read his content that I can do it too, because he just said it in the book. And he wrote that book by interviewing a lot of successful business owners during the Great Depression. And so it kind of drops some tips and tricks on how to get your mindset right and keep your eyes open for opportunities, even when it seems like things are glim. So.
Okay. Well, I will check that one out.
Yeah. And so we're coming down close to the end here. Is there anything else that you want the business community or the Edmonton community to know about you, your family, and Pro Plumbing?
Papaianni family loves the city of Edmonton. So any events or, smaller events going on or businesses that need a shout out or anything, let us know. Send us a direct message on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, and we will repost it for you. We are all about helping out Edmontonians. So if you need us to fix your toilet, faucet, hot water tank, furnace, give us a call. We're always there for you. And for family, we continue to stay active with our little one, almost 9 months on Sunday. So that's I don't know where the time goes, but every parent tells me the same thing. It goes 100 miles an hour, and that's what it seems like. And so we'll continue to enjoy and have fun with him every day and watch him grow. And my wife and I can't wait till more restaurants open because we'll have a couple date nights right away, or we can leave the little one at the grandparents. And everything, it seems like stage 2 and stage 3 are coming for Alberta. So that's already positive for the start of June for Alberta and Edmontonians.
That's awesome. And how can people get in touch with either you, Raffaele, or Pro Plumbing on Instagram, Twitter? Let us know your handles, your website, and how they can reach you.
Oh, for sure. On Instagram, we're Pro Plumbing, so pretty easy. On Twitter, we're EDM Pro Plumbing. And on TikTok, we're Pro Edmonton. So those are the handles. I have personal one on Instagram. It's Raffaele Papaianni. So if you can spell it, you'll find me. And our website is proplumbing.ca. And our phone number, if you want to get a hold of us, 780-462-2225. And that's all on our websites and social media. And you click it and give us a ring. And I will help you with anything that you have questions on.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, Raffaele. It's a pleasure to be connected with Pro Plumbing and to be transparent with you. I don't have as many 10,000 followers as you do, but I don't see many people in the service industry, at least in your space, doing what you're doing. So keep at it. Keep entertaining us. Keep showing us those little pipe scenes and stuff like that. Show us your little baby. He's so cute. I appreciate people who are creative, and you might not think that your posts put joy in people's lives, but I think it really does. So just keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you. Keep it up.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be on your show. I really like what you're doing and how much you're really pushing since we first met on Instagram. In the last couple of months, you've done such a good job. And the ones where you're like this are hilarious. Yeah. And I stop and watch those all the time. So thank you so much for the opportunity. And hey, get out there and have more walks, okay?
Yeah, I need that. It'll be good for my health.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, the Edmonton Business Show. Stay tuned for episode 7 and have a great day. Take care.
See ya.